Okay, so now that we've talked about beat and we've talked about meter and rhythm values, we can start to talk about composing. So, you know that the beat is the steady pulse in the music. We also know that meter is how we group beats, whether we group beats into groups of 2, 3, or 4. And that they all feel slightly different. So if I speak a poem in, let's say, 2 beats, engine, engine number 9, going down the railroad line. If the train falls off the track, will I get my money back? It's gonna sound really awkward if I speak that poem but show groups of 3 beats at a time. Engine, engine number 9, going down the railroad line. If the train falls off the track, will I get my money back? Sounds kind of awkward. Same thing if I took something that's in a meter of 3, but I gave it 4 beats instead. I took it and made it a meter of 4, but I speak it in a meter of 3. So I'll sing Hush-a-Bye Baby. That's the one I usually use. Hush-a-bye baby on the treetop, when the wind blows the cradle will rock. Sounds kind of off, right? So we have to make sure meter is very important, because whether we are composing in 2, 3, or 4, it all sounds different. So when you make your choice about what meter to use, you have to think about how you want it to feel and how you want it to sound. All right, so I'm gonna take these off the board. Where do we start when we're composing? Once you choose your meter, and I'm gonna start with a 4-beat meter, you can either write it like this to show the meter, or you can write it like this with an upside down quarter note underneath. Both mean the exact same thing. It's telling you that each measure has to have 4 beats in it, and that the quarter note is the one that gets the beat. So quarter note is top, okay? After I've decided which one I'm gonna use, and I'm gonna make sure I stick with, I like to use 4/4, I can start to think about what rhythms and what rhythm values I want to use. But I have to make sure that I can add everything to 4. So if I want to do quarter note, 1/8 notes together, and then a half note. I have to make sure it adds up to 4 before I can add a bar line. 1, 2, because this is 1/2 plus 1/2, right? So there's 1 beat total. 1 plus 1 is 2. This is worth 2 beats. 2 plus 2 is 4. Now I can draw my bar line and move on. As I move on, maybe I want to use a whole note. That's worth 4 beats on its own, so I draw a line. Maybe I want to use a rest in there somewhere. So maybe I do something like this. And I put my half rest, 2 beats. Right, so I've got 1 plus 2 is 3 beats. I have room for 1 more beat. And maybe that's all I want to do with my composition. Right? So, maybe this is all I want to do. If this is my whole rhythmic composition, I can go back and start to clap it out or play it out. Ta, ti, ti, ta, 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 ti, ti, okay? And I can see if somebody else can play that out for me. It's math and it's fractions. You just need to be able to add up to 4 or 3 if you're using a meter of 3/4, which is also, again, the same as saying 3/4 note. Maybe you just want 2 beats in a group, 2/4, which is the same as 2/4 note, right? possibilities are endless. Endless combinations that you can use with this. I challenge you to try to make up your own composition with rhythm patterns in either 2, 3, or 4 beats. You don't have to use staff paper like I did. You could even do it like this. Just as long as you have those 4 beats before you move on. Happy composing.